Here we are back at Animatron, and we're going to once again click Start Creating. And once it loads, you're going to go to Expert again. And here we are in Expert. Today we're going to use some animated sets. You're not going to create any objects. So we're going to look for Halloween. And there are lots of objects that are Halloween related. But we're going to go to sets because the sets actually have backgrounds. So I'll look at this first one. And it looks like a good set. And so these are the backgrounds for it. You can watch an example if you'd like. But I'm just going to start with this and drag this background out onto the canvas. And there it is. And I can tell that it's, of course, on my timeline, and that it's going to stop at 10 seconds. Right here it shows me that it's just 10 seconds. So if I watch it, you can see that there's already some animation automatically on it, which is nice, some backgrounds. So I'm going to move the playhead all the way back, and I am going to have this guy come in. Okay, now you're going to stay in animation most of the time. We got confused with design and animation, but if I wanted to change his size or something, I would go to, and I didn't want it to show up on the final product, I would just go to design, but he's a pretty good size. So I'm going to make him go over here to the castle, and I think it's going to take us like, here I'm going to move this out. I'm going to say it's going to take him 5 seconds to get to the castle. So I've moved my playhead to 5, and then I'm going to move him. Well, I didn't get him all the way there, but that's okay. So let's go to 8 seconds. And then I'm going to move him into the castle. He's right there. I'm going to let him stand at the castle for like a second and a half. Then I'm going to have him disappear. So to get him to disappear, if I take him off the screen or I delete him, his whole line will delete. So I'm going to come up here, and I'm going to slowly fade him out. Actually, it doesn't matter if it's slowly, it won't record it. It'll go at the speed it wants to go. So let's watch that. So there he's moving. And it looks like he's picking up speed. He's going in the castle, and he is disappearing. So now he's going to go into the castle. I'll go back. He's going to go into the castle, and I want him to turn into this thing. So I'll have him be in there for a second, and then I'm going to drag this guy out and put him right there. And you can see that the flying vampire bat doesn't come in until 10.6, but that is way too big. I do not want it that big. So I'm going to go up here to design, and I'm going to make the adjustments in design. Yeah. And actually, I'm going to go back to animation. I want him to fade in so he can be off here, and then I'll just move this just a slightly bit, and then have him appear, and then I got to keep moving this ending out. Then I'm going to have him, I've already worked with him. I know he turns into like a bat, but I'm going to move this, I don't know, 12 seconds. And I'm going to have him fly out here. And then I'll move it just a little bit. And I'm going to have him turn. And I want the turn not in design mode, but animation, because I want it to be seen. So I'm going to right click on him and go down to transform. I'm going to turn him horizontally. There. And then I'm going to have him fly back on top of the moon so we can actually see him. And then I want him to kind of rock back and forth, so I'll move there and then move it a little bit more, rock it back and forth, kind of like we did with the bell. Okay, So I can watch that, but I'm thinking that looks pretty good. And next in my story, because you really should think of these as stories, I'll have a little giraffe come in.